Charlie Nellen, raised in Gadsden, Alabama. Came down to school here in Birmingham, to college. When I graduated, took a job locally with a CPA firm, and left the CPA firm, went to work with one of our clients, and have been there for 35 years now. Well, the way we ended up at Cahaba Heights is I started dating Janice back when I was 24 years old. Was not a Christian. After a couple of dates, she asked me if I'd like to come to services with her. Came, met. Clark Maxon was here. A lot of people who have since gone on, and just really came to get to know the people here at Cahaba Heights. Found them to be very engaging, very interesting people, deeply spiritual in the way that they thought and the things that they talked about, and were very comfortable in discussing any Bible topic that you wanted to bring up. The thing you learn about God more than anything else when you're serving as an elder is you come to recognize the providence of God. You come to recognize that regardless of your thoughts, plans, ideas, if you have confidence and faith in God, He's going to take care of it. It's really not up to us to try and solve the big problems. Our role is simply to serve as reflections, leading people through the Word, trying to help them understand what God's plans are, but fundamentally at the end of the day, trusting in God that He's going to take care of the big stuff. I think that the primary goal for me as an elder working with the Christians here at Cahaba Heights is to help them develop their own spiritual maturity, to help them develop their talents, their skills, push them to some areas where they might not be comfortable, but where it's obvious that they have real talents, so that they can serve God. And whatever that means, however that plays out in their life, that they can recognize the joy and the peace that comes from serving God. We focus on the Word because fundamentally we all believe that's where the answers are. That's where the answers are to God. That's where the answers are to how to live this life. That's where the answers are to how to mold your character into what God would have you to be so that you can be one of His children. We don't harbor any illusions that we can go to some pop psychology book, or you can ask any of us elders. If you could ask any of us, well, you tell me what it thinks for me to be successful in living the Christian life. Well, our answer is, well, it's fairly obvious. God wrote it in a book. And the key is not, are the answers there? The key is, are we really spending enough time so that we can really understand what God has to tell us? We live in a world today where everything comes at us in 15 and 20-second and 2-minute bites. And that may be fine if I want to know some political news highlight. That's not how you get to know God. The only way you get to know God is through spending time in His Word, meditating on that Word, really trying to understand what God's message is to communicate to us, which is one of the things that Jeremy does so well, actually. Jeremy does a great job of taking what the Word of God has to say, not spending a lot of time outside the Word. He simply takes the Word, breaks down what it has to say, and explain it that we can read. Let's all read together and let's try and understand what God is trying to communicate to us. And then now that we've understood it, let's try and apply it in our lives, which I think is a great talent and a great benefit to anyone who's able to come and hear Jeremy preach. The first thing you need to do is come visit, because once you came to know and meet some of the people here, I think you would be influenced by their infectious attitude, their enthusiasm for God, the love that they show for one another, and the love that they show for the Lord. And the fact that if you come, we're focused on trying to improve and trying to get better in the things we do in serving God. We're not a totally introspective group. We're very outgoing. It's a very outgoing group of people who are very interested in furthering their own development and bringing others to Christ. And I think you'll see that as soon as you walk in the door.